happen by two things. One, by our entrepreneurs becoming stronger and stronger, and by us inviting thousands of corporations from outside to come and set up factories so that we can create job opportunities for our youngsters.
Okay, thank you, sir.
How can we use information technology to improve Indian democracy and to reduce corruption?
Well, information technology enhances transparency because it provides information to anybody who wants to use it. When you provide information on what you are doing, on where a certain activity is, how much it has been completed, where a certain file is sitting in an office, how much of approval process has taken place, you improve transparency. When you improve transparency, you improve accountability. When you improve accountability, democracy succeeds, because democracy is all about making sure that every one of our political leaders and our bureaucrats and every other leader of this country is indeed transparent, fair, and accountable to people. And information technology also improves access to people through e-governance.
If we are talking about globalization, that means the services which are provided in our country, which are provided abroad, can even be provided in our country. So why Indians prefer to go abroad to do IT sector jobs? And even we have a huge salary difference for on-site work and for the work done by the Indians here. Why so?
Are you saying why is it that Indian companies are doing services for corporations in the US or Europe? Is that the question?
I'm even concerned why in Infosys people prefer on-site job than to do jobs in our country.
Well, let us remember that our youngsters want to go out, they want to see a culture, another culture, they want to make some money, they want to see another country. Why not? There is nothing wrong. Now, on the issue of why is it that we do more and more jobs for outside than inside, let's remember when this industry was started, there were hardly any computers in India. It would take us about 3 years to get a license to import a computer. It would take us about 7 years to get a telephone connection. It would take us about 15 days to get approval from Reserve Bank of India to travel abroad even for a day. There were very, very few computers in the country. That has changed now. But even now, there are the total opportunity for most Indian companies operating in India is only about 10%. Therefore, while India is certainly growing very well now in the usage of IT, at this point in time, the majority of the opportunity for creation of jobs for our youngsters is coming from outside India. My view is, as long as we are able to create millions of jobs for our youngsters, how does it matter whether we do work for there or here? As long as there are opportunities here, we will definitely do jobs, we will definitely take up projects for Indian clients. Today we are doing large projects for Government of India, for various state governments. Therefore, as and when the opportunities in India start growing, I can assure you that focus on India will become even more and more, and therefore there will be greater and greater opportunity for creation of jobs for our youngsters.
Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon, sir. According to you, how it is important for an Indian youth today, like me, to think globally and work locally for the youth which we represent in the future?
Now, is your question how important it is to think globally and act locally, work locally?
Yes, sir. That's the
Okay. Well, as I explained to you, we live in the era of globalization. In this era, any nation that has products and services of global level of performance has the opportunity to sell these products in the global bazaar and create prosperity for its citizens. Therefore, while we want to create more and more jobs for Indians, while we want to create more and more prosperity for Indians, we will have to constantly think of how people in other parts of the world are living. Once you do that, you can create prosperity for local people. And being here, we have to work locally, we have to act locally, we have to make sure that our local environment becomes better and better and better. There is another important reason why we should think globally. Thanks to the opening up of the borders, thanks to the economic reforms of 1991, today we have global multinational companies in every sector in India, and they are bringing global level of productivity, global level of quality, global branding, global marketing, global customer service, etc. Therefore, even Indian companies, in order to succeed in India itself, we have to benchmark ourselves on global standards. Therefore, our youngsters will have to think globally while working locally, while acting locally.
Thank you very much, sir. That's a pleasure.
Thanks.
I just want to ask, nowadays
Yeah.
many IT engineers seek job in the abroad. Will it not weaken our economy?
Well, let me say this. India is a nation of 1.2 billion people. We are not short of people. If, as I pointed out earlier, if we want to create job opportunities for every Indian, then we have to increase our exports. If we want to increase our exports, then some of our youngsters will have to go outside, will have to, for short periods. In fact, most of our people who go abroad go for 3 months, 6 months, for short periods. They have to service our clients abroad and create job opportunities here. Therefore, there is absolutely nothing wrong with it, and therefore our youngsters taking up software assignments for corporations outside India is making our economy strong. Today, our industry contributes about $60 billion, and that is growing. And I am told that we can get to an export of $300 billion by 2020. That is a huge amount of money. That is 2.2 times our current exports, total exports from all sectors. Therefore, we have to encourage this. After all, this sector is pollution free. It does not take too much of electricity. It does not take much water. So this is the kind of clean industries that we have to encourage.
IT sector has contributed in India's economic development, but do you think that it has also created rural-urban divide? And if yes, how to bridge this divide? And for this, how to inculcate public service motive in private sector?
Well, I think this again is a wonderful question. You see, if we provide economic opportunities for a certain section of Indians and they move from being poor to middle class, if they are able to send their children to better schools, if they are able to take their patients to better hospitals, in the short term, you can think of it as creating a divide between middle class and the poor. The solution, there are two solutions to this. One, to not allow these poor people to go to middle class, thereby everybody is poor. Second, to say, let us learn lessons from these sectors of the economy which have indeed moved these poor people to become middle class fellows and therefore create opportunities for more and more poor people to become middle class. I think the second strategy is a better strategy than saying that let everybody be poor. That was the strategy we took till 1990. We said poverty is great. We said everybody should be poor. That is, poverty is glorious. I can assure you poverty is not glorious. Therefore, let us provide opportunity for the rural poor by creating low-tech manufacturing industries, manufacturing companies, so that our youngsters who are illiterate or very little educated can indeed get decent income and decent jobs. That is perfectly possible. China has demonstrated that it is possible. Therefore, our politicians, our bureaucrats and other leaders must come together and think of how to improve job opportunities for illiterates and semi-literates in the rural sector, and that can be done.
I want to conclude the session of opportunities for youth in the globalized era. Now we heard an enlightening and inspirational speech from Narayan Murthy ji. In fact, when I had to speak on this, I was just looking at some books on globalization. I passed across New York Times bestseller, The World is Flat, written by Thomas Friedman. And this metaphor is used to say the globalized world is a level playing field with equal opportunities for all, big and small. Saman sandhi sabko milegi. In fact, this word, the world is flat, was thought by the author when he visited the Infosys campus in Bangalore. We like it or not, globalization is an inevitable change. We all must not only accept it, but be prepared to make the best of it. Globalization brings in enormous opportunities. Globalization, I feel that we always think globalization has to do with industry and trade and business. There's a lot more. Now globalization is going to go beyond borders. Now when we think about the tiger, we have to save the tiger. It's a global issue. We have to save the tree. It's a global issue. We have to save water. It's a global issue. Terrorism, it's a global issue. Now the world is beyond borders. So it's going to be a flat world, and that is what all globalization is. So globalization is a fact which we all must accept and be prepared for it. We said that India is going to be the youngest country in 30 years, but this is going to be the best country. the most powerful country, that's for you and me to decide in the globalized era. And so I would just want to sum up that like everything is globalized, this poem, which Robert Frost wrote hundreds of years ago, is also a globalized poem which always motivates me. I think it will motivate you also. The woods are lovely, dark and deep, and I have promises to keep, and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. And this is for everyone. So everybody, be prepared for the promises ahead. Thank you so much.
Session 5, Opportunities for Youth in Globalized Era. We, the student leaders assembled in the first Parliament of Indian Student Council leaders, hereby resolve to make the curriculum of graduation and post-graduation level more practical and career-oriented, considering the demands of global market. So now it's our time. You can vote. Opportunities for youth in globalized era. Still we have 25 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2. Done with that. 94%. Everyone a big hand. That is really nice enough with the session 5, Opportunities for Youth in Globalized Era.